People asking me to call them and to email them. Here's the thing, guys. I have a life, and I make these videos to empower you, to teach you how to do it. There is no quick fixes here, guys. I can't hold your hand. Much as I'd like to, but, and I don't ask for any money, guys. I just do this to help you. But here's a video, and it's regarding your driver's licenses and how they need to provide you with due process and equal protection of the laws before they can do that. And they cannot suspend your license or threaten you with arrest to blackmail you into paying a debt that they are, they refuse to provide proof that you owe. What happens is, as everybody knows, you go to some bullshit quasi hearing, and it's quasi. It's not a judicial hearing. It's a support proceeding. It's an administrative process under 45 CFR 303 dot or 303.101. Look it up. And in that what is it? Code of Federal Rules, CFR, I believe. It states that they must provide you with due process. Okay? Now, what's due process? Due process is where you're given the opportunity to see evidence, hear testimony, hear the laws being used against you, and they're also supposed to provide you with a remedy. Okay, they're supposed to tell you how can I, Your Honor, how can I fight this? Your Honor, what can I do? And if they don't do that, they're denying you due process. So, the other day I did a video on the Department of Justice. Now, this memo is regarding fines and fees, but trust me, it applies to child support as well, because what they are doing is it's these debt collection practices by these knuckleheads in child support who are, all programmed that everybody is a deadbeat dad, which is hysterical, So they hire these uneducated, low intelligence women. They're all women, by the way. You ever notice? And then you got I did the video on that, and they're all immigrants who come to the country, and they're given a job where they get to bully people, and they enjoy it. So, all right, let's get back here. Courts must not use arrest warrants or license suspensions as a means of coercing the payment of court debt when individuals have not been afforded constitutionally adequate procedural protections. Due process. Okay, you cannot be seized unless by a warrant. Fourth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment, you're supposed to be provided due process. And here's another thing, you're not supposed to testify against yourself. Don't agree to anything. Make them work. Let them provide a witness that you owe money. Now, I'm going to show you that you have to threaten to sue people. Okay? That's how I won my case. Because I actually sued people in federal court. The case was thrown out because the judge is corrupt and they're protecting these criminals. But it showed that where I'm willing to go. And these people all read my paperwork. They know I have a brain, and they know I'm right. And I was also a cop, and I keep saying it all the time, but trust me, it helps. And here's the reason why they're worried about it. Now, I'm going to read this, and I want you to think about it before I show you. to help judicial actors protect individuals' rights. Now, who are judicial actors? Judges, lawyers. And this is the other scam they always do. They always act like they're protecting you, like, oh, like child support. It's for the children, which is a bunch of horse shit. Okay, the states rely on this money. That's they rely on this Social Security money that they get for under Title 4D. 66% for every dollar that they steal from you. So the states rely on this money heavily. That's the reason why they're suspending your license, threatening you with jail, making your life a living hell, because the state government, they're the most ruthless people going, because they want that money. That's what this is all about. It's all about getting that paper, as they say. Okay, now, and they claim it's for the children, which is a bunch of nonsense. That's why in New York, some kid's in a coma because some idiot who doesn't know how to, take care of children assaulted a little boy, and the CPS, child welfare knuckleheads, couldn't find the address. That's how incompetent they are. And they claim it took them 3 days to find the address, and they didn't do anything. That's another, CPS is another scam in the, just like child support, because the states are giving federal money for all the children under foster care. That's why it's so difficult to adopt an American child, because the states don't want to give up their property, the wards of the state. So for every child in foster care, the state's giving federal money. Now, I don't know much. I just know that much, because thank God I never had to go through that. So anyway, let's get back to this. To help judicial actors protect individuals' rights and avoid unnecessary harm. Remember that. We discuss below a set of basic constitutional principles relevant to the enforcement of fines and fees. These principles, grounded in the rights to due process and equal protection, requires the following. Courts must not incarcerate a person for non-payment of fines or fees without first conducting an indigency determination. Has anybody offered you an indigency determination before they suspended your driver's license for non-payment of child support? I doubt it. I know what happens. You go in there, they have you fill out all this financial stuff, which, by the way, you're volunteering your information without a warrant under the 4th Amendment. They got you. They're tricking you. This is all trickery, guys. Don't you ever volunteer any information. You demand a warrant. All right? I know I helped a couple of people who watch my videos who were getting ready to run into court. Listen, it happened to me. So, I'm not on some soapbox here. It happened to me. That's why I make these videos, because I want everybody to not make the same mistakes I made. Okay? Now, number 5, courts must not use arrest warrants or license suspensions as a means of coercing. Okay? It's a nice word for extorting you. So what they're doing, they're extorting you by suspending your license, right? And they're threatening you with arrest. So, of course, you don't want to go to jail, and then you need your driver's license, so you'll do anything, right? So you might just say, okay, well, how much do I owe you? But they're not allowed to do that. It's extortion. Okay, the payment of a court debt when individuals have not been afforded constitutionally adequate procedural protections. All right, now let's get back here. Remember, I told you got to threaten these people. Because if they're violating your constitutional rights and they're acting, soon as somebody's violating your constitutional rights, they lose immunity. Well, they're supposed to lose immunity. most of the times the state protects them anyway because they're committing crimes on behalf of the state. But they're not supposed to be. As soon as somebody's violating your constitutional rights, they're on their own. And if you know what you're doing, you could push them that way. That's where I am right now, and that's what I did with. I believe is one of the reasons why I got to see the judge of my case, who turned out to be a decent guy. You know what I mean? But I think, I had to threaten him, and I cited a couple of case laws that listen, if you're violating my constitutional rights and you're acting without jurisdiction, you lose any judicial or qualified immunity. All right. To help judicial actors protect individuals' rights and unnecessary harm. Who's the harm? What unnecessary harm are we talking about? We're talking about them being sued. That's what they mean. They're trying to help the judicial actor not be sued by violating constitutional rights. That's exactly what that means. Okay? And avoid unnecessary harm. Okay, it also means for the person that violated, but I guarantee you it's one of those double meanings because they could be sued. So to help judicial actors protect individuals' rights and avoid unnecessary harm. Okay, it's to protect them. Trust me. They claim it's for the individual, but it's really for them. Okay. So what you're gonna do is if they're threatening to suspend your license, pull out a piece of paper and grab a pen and write a letter stating, and I'm gonna leave a link for this down. Take this, copy it, and print it. All right? You're gonna go to number 5. The use of arrest warrants as a means of debt collection rather than in response to public safety needs creates unnecessary risk. The only time you're supposed to be suspending your driver's license is if you're a risk on the road. That's it. Not because you owe a debt. Here's one thing that's very important. Because they recognize that, everybody drives now. And a lot of jobs are related to driving. Because driving is a commercial term. Okay? There's a case law here called Bell versus Burson. It's a United States Supreme Court decision holding that driver's licenses may become essential in the pursuit of a livelihood. That means that, you take away someone's driver's license, you're taking away their livelihood, meaning their ability to earn, ability to pay the bills, ability to take care of children. Remember, we're supposed to be protecting the children. Okay? So, how can they suspend your driver's license claiming that you owe child support when you never met these people? Huh? Child support claims you owe them money, but who are you speaking to? You never met these people before. That's depriving you of due process. And what equal protection of law means is that you have constitutional protections that are with you from the moment you breathe your first breath to the time you breathe your last. You're not supposed to, you're not supposed to even say this. It's supposed to be protecting you, but because we have these criminals who have no souls. I went to child support one time a couple of years ago, and they train these people this woman wouldn't even shake my hand because she was afraid that she might show me some type of, humanity. All right? So I'm going to leave a link with this. Read it. And getting back, write a letter stating that your driver's license is essential for your livelihood. And if you suspend my driver's license, you're depriving me of my life, liberty,